This is episode 27 of Magic and the Law of Attraction. How can I make magic with the full moon? Hello, everyone. I am your host, Madam Pamita, and you're listening to Magic and the Law of Attraction, the podcast where you'll learn how to transform your life in magical ways to make it the very best that it can be. So, in this episode, I'll be telling you the different ways that we use the full moon for magic and how to make some powerful full moon water to make some serious moon magic. But before we get to that, I've got a couple of announcements I want to get to. The first is that my new book, The Book of Candle Magic, is available for pre-order. It's going to be out in October of 2020. But you can pre-order it in lots of different ways. I recommend going to your local bookstore, your metaphysical bookstore, your independent bookstore, and asking them to order it. If they ask you who's publishing it, you can tell them Llewellyn Books is publishing it, and you can pre-order it there. You win because you're helping. Well, I was going to say you win because you're getting an amazing book. The bookstore wins because you're supporting that bookstore and keeping those bookstores afloat. And also I win because you're ordering my book. So you get triple good karma for getting that way. You can also order it online. You can order it through Amazon and through all the other usual places. And you can also order it from me at parlorofwonders.com. When you pre-order it, you'll order it and then you'll receive it in October as soon as it comes out. So it's a super exciting thing for me. You're going to love this book. It's an amazing book. It's like no other book on candle magic out there. It is not a book of recipes. It is a book that breaks it down for you so that you can be a candle magic expert. So really encourage you to check it out. The Book of Candle Magic by Madame Pamita. Pre-order it now and make my day. All right, something else going on here at the Parlor of Wonders. We've got a new moon hearth service happening every month on the new moon. It's good to know, new moon and full moon. Every month on the new moon, I'm offering a beautiful candle service. 13 people and I all get together virtually over the internet, so you can do it from anywhere in the world. We have a beautiful altar set up with these beautiful candles, and it all takes place on the new moon. Reservations for the new moon hearth service open on the full moon. So you'll want to check out on my website. Go to parlorofwonders.com. And then go to services and check out the new moon hearth service to see when the next full moon, when the next reservations open for the next new moon hearth service. And every month it's a different theme. It's amazing and phenomenal. Couple of events coming up. Northwest Tarot Symposium is coming up March 6th through 9th. That's going to be in Portland, Oregon. And I will be there along with my very dear friend, Jim Barker of Divine Hand Palmistry. And he and I are going to be co-teaching a class called the Palmistry Tarot Mashup. Is it Palmistry Tarot Mashup or Tarot Palmistry Mashup? One of those two. But anyway, it is about a workshop about how the hands and the gestures of the hands and what they mean and how they show up in the tarot, in the Rider-Waite Smith deck. And it's a fascinating thing. If you're a tarot nerd, if you're curious about palmistry, you will love this workshop. So if you're going to be up at Northwest Tarot Symposium, I hope you'll join Jim and I at this amazing workshop. Also got we're going to be presenting the same workshop at Paganicon in Minneapolis on March 20th and 20 through 22nd. Somewhere in there, I think on the 21st or 22nd, we're going to be presenting at Paganicon. So we'll see you in Minneapolis, or we'll see you at Portland at Northwest Tarot Symposium. So let's talk about what's going to be happening in this episode. You want to know more about how to use the moon to make magic. So what is more magical than the moon? Let's talk about that. Whenever we see the moon up in the sky, it is something that is truly magical. It connects us to nature. It's mystical. It definitely has a pull on us. I mean, we think about even in a sort of physiological way. Where our bodies are made up of water, and the moon has a gravitational pull that even pulls the tides. That's why we have a low tide and a high tide. And that gravitational pull definitely pulls on us. I mean, we feel it. We feel attracted to the moon. We feel fascinated by the moon. I can think about the time when I was a little girl. I mean, even as a child, I was always looking for information about magic and what I could do magically. It wasn't like these days now where you can get on the internet and you can find anything. I really had to search back in those days in the 70s looking for anything magical. And I remember that I once read that witches do they when they see the full moon, they circle around, spin around 3 times, and then bow to the moon. And I would try doing that in my backyard as a little girl. I don't know what I was doing except honoring the moon, I suppose. But something about that connection to the moon is very, very witchy, very has something very, very magical, I think, for everyone. So the full moon, when we have a full moon up in the sky, it's that time that everybody says everybody's crazy, every energies are really amplified, everything is, there's something that definitely happens when the full moon is happening. So one of the ways that I think is amazing for working with the full moon is using that time as a time of divination. If you work with a pendulum, do tarot readings, work with oracle cards, pay attention to when the full moon is up in the sky and do some divinations around those times and see if it doesn't open up more of a connection for you. That's a great time to look at that. For example, I was born in the sign of Cancer. Cancers are ruled by the moon. So it is natural for me to be already attuned in that way. But I think that any sign of the zodiac can start to attune to the moon and use it and experiment with it. And one of the beautiful experiments that you can do is to do divination during the time of the full moon and see if you're not more open, more psychically aware, more intuitive, and getting some more information and more accurate information than you do the rest of the month. Full moons are also the perfect time for any kind of celebration of appreciation and gratitude. This is like a perfect time. It's the culmination. The moon has been growing over that time and has finally come up into the place where it's full. And this is a time to say thank you for your abundance. Thank you for the good things in your life, to be in appreciation. You could do a little ritual. You can get together with friends. You could do a spell. All of that can happen during the full moon in that sense of, what have I accomplished over this month? How have I moved forward, and what magic have I accomplished? Another thing that you might want to consider if you're doing moon magic is thinking about what sign the moon is in. So the moon moves through all of the signs and fairly quickly, usually a day or 2 or 3 in a sign, and then it moves on to the next sign. So you want to pay attention to what sign the moon is in during the full moon. Now, there's lots of apps and things that you can get online that show you the full moon, and they show you what sign it's in. So if you look on your phone, you can find an app. If you look online, you can find a chart, but it will tell you what sign of the zodiac the moon is in at each full moon. But if you want to do it, so if you're more of an astrologer person and you know a little bit about the zodiac, you can look and see what the opposite sign is of the sun sign. So if the sun sign, for example, if we're in Taurus, for example, sun sign's in Taurus, the full moon is going to be in Scorpio. It's going to be the opposite sign. So that's how a kind of sneaky way, if you know the wheel of the zodiac, you can kind of figure it out without having to look at an app. But if you're not a zodiac person, you're not an astrology person, you don't know, you can look it up online, use an app, get on Google it or look up somehow and find it and find out what sign it's in. Now, why is that important? Well, if you know a little bit about astrology, even just from reading horoscopes or, amateur astrologer, you know a little bit about the signs, right? You know probably about your own sign. You might know about the signs in your family or your friends or your lover, but you can study a little bit with a basic astrology book or looking online to find out the sort of traits and characteristics of each sign, and then see how you can, access that energy using that energy of that sign in that full moon. So let's say, for example, we have a Capricorn full moon, which will be showing up when the sun is in Cancer in the summer, we have a Capricorn full moon. So if we're looking at a Capricorn full moon, how can we use that in our spell work to even amplify our spell work a little bit more? Capricorn is a sign of conscientiousness, hardworking, someone who's a builder, movers and shakers. So if I'm looking at a full moon in Capricorn, how can I use that sign and the energy of that sign to also give a certain energy to my work. Maybe it's a great full moon to be celebrating your business successes or your career accomplishments. Or maybe you want to start a business and you're kind of putting that seed out there. That would be the perfect full moon to be doing that, you know? So think about, if you learn a little bit about astrology or you know a bit about astrology, think about the different signs and how you can access that energy of that zodiac sign when the full moon is in that sign. Now, let's talk about magical full moon water. So we access the energy of the full moon, but we only usually have a day or two before the full moon, a day or two after the full moon to really get that full moon energy. It doesn't have to be on the same day, but you got a couple of days before and after that you can do your full moon work. But after that, you can see the moon's getting smaller and smaller after the full moon, and so you're too late. So how do we get that full moon fullness, that gratitude, that abundance of the full moon all month long? Well, you make full moon water. So full moons are amazing for creating intentions for love, prosperity, blessings. You want anything that's expansive, abundant, and you think about the full manifestation of it. That's that energy of the full moon. So you don't have to limit that energy just those nights of the full moon and the day before, day after. If you want to carry that energy throughout the rest of the month, you can capture that magic by making full moon water, right? So we think about that full moon water is holy water, and you can use it in any context that you would use holy water. You can use that full moon water for that. Now you might also want to pay attention again to that zodiac sign. Like I'm making Capricorn full moon water. So I can use that. How could I use that? To bless my career, to put blessings on my abundance. It's an earth sign. I can use it for any kind of magic for a business or anything like that. So it's a way of amplifying and capturing the energy in the water. So before you get started, check out your favorite resource online, an app or whatever, a moon phase calendar that's going to show you when the moon is going to be at its apex. That's the first step. You got to know when it's going to happen. There's also Google calendars that you can download that will tell you ahead of time and so on, but you just find some resource. Now, once you know that if that new moon phase is going to be in the early morning, like if the full moon at its fullest is going to be early morning or early in the day, you can start that spell or start that collection of the water the night before, and that's a good time to do it, so that you're capturing that waxing energy of the moon. You can do it a day after, it doesn't matter, but if you can capture it the day before, if it's possible, that is a great time to do it. So how do you do it? You first get a clear glass or a white porcelain bowl, and you put spring water in it, and then you put it outside or in your window on the night of the full moon. Now, when I say spring water, do I mean you have to go out to a spring and capture it yourself? That would be amazing. But if you're a city witch like me, not a lot of springs out here. So you can get bottled spring water. You can get, I think most places have bottled spring water, or in a pinch, of course, you can use tap water. There's other kinds of magical water you could use as well. I mean, you could use rainwater, or you could use melted snow, or you could use water from a special lake or from the ocean. I mean, there's all kinds of waters that you can get to use for this. So, but spring water is what we look at as like our baseline, and anything else that you do, you're great. But just start there, and that's easy enough to do. You can get a bottle of spring water. If you want to supercharge your magical moon water, you can get some tumbled moonstones and place them around your bowl of water to amplify that moon energy. Now, when the moon comes up, place your bowl outside, or put it on, if you're going to do your spell work inside, put it next to a window with the window curtains open where the moon can shine down on it. So outside or inside where the moon can shine down on it. Before you get started, you can hold your hands over the bowl as the moon begins shining. You can say a prayer of intention for the water. It's in January and the full moon is in Cancer, so I'm going to open up my psychic abilities and strengthen my intuition, something like that. Or I'm going to be working with a Scorpio full moon, so I want to have a sexy, hot relationship or whatever it is that works and aligns with that moon energy. Now, if you aren't working with the astrological things, you really can be quite broad with whatever you do. You can pick and choose anything, but I like to think in astrological terms, and so that's one of the ways I like to work. Whatever you're asking for, make sure you're asking for it in a really clear, confident, and powerful intention. Speak it as if it's already here. Put it in the present tense. That's another great way to do that, but just be confident with the words that you're saying. Now, once you've done that, you can let that water set there. You can go back in the house, or you can just leave it on the windowsill or whatever it is, but leave the water out to capture the light of the moon as long as possible. Leave your water in the light of the moon for the entire night. And then the next day, once the sun has come up, the moon has gone down, you can decant that water into a bottle and put it into the fridge, and you can use it throughout the month. Now, if you're going to be using it for watering plants or using it in a bath, you can just leave it in there as is. If you're going to be drinking it, then I recommend that you add some alcohol to it to preserve that water so that it doesn't get icky over the month, okay? So I bet you have questions about ways that you can use this full moon water. Well, in a minute, I'm going to be telling you more about those amazing ways that you can work with the full moon water. But I also want to tell you about a way that you can ask me questions for free about moon water, working with the moon, spells, magic, tarot, witchcraft, law of attraction, spiritualism, all those magical, mystical things. That's right. Every Sunday, I host a live magic Q&A tea party. It takes place on Zoom, which I like to call the Spell Squad Clubhouse. And in it, I have guests that come on who are amazing authors and creators and witches and celebrity witches, all kinds of people in there. And you can ask myself and my guests, your questions about these magical things. It doesn't cost anything to join us there. It's a free thing, another free thing that I give to you, but you do have to be a member of the Spell Squad to get in. How do you get to be a member? So easy. You go over to spellsquad.com. It'll take you over to my site, right to the place that you need to sign up. You can sign up for my newsletter, and you'll get the link to join us via email. And you can join us for our live magic Q&A via computer, on your smartphone, or even on a regular phone. It takes place every Sunday at 5 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Mountain Time, 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern. And if you are interested in seeing past episodes because you want to know a little bit about what this is about before we get started, you can check them out on my YouTube channel. Go to youtube.com/MadamePamita and you can check them out there. But go over to spellsquad.com and sign up today so you can join us in the clubhouse, get a ton of free goodies, and join me and my guests with a cup of tea and get some deep spiritual knowledge. It's always fun in the clubhouse, and we'd love to see you there. So let's talk about the ways that you can use your magic full moon water. First of all, you can sprinkle it around your house to bless your house. Maybe you have a home business and you want to sprinkle that prosperity water around your house, sprinkle it around your house. Maybe you want to invite a new love into your home. You want a new partner for you to live together in a happy home. You can sprinkle it around your home. Now, if you're going to be, as I said, if you're going to be drinking this water, you want to add a bit of clear alcohol, such as vodka. You can add brandy, vodka, any of those kinds of alcohols at about a 10% ratio to preserve the water. You keep it in the fridge, and if you used clean water to begin with, you can drink it all month long. That means wouldn't recommend drinking rainwater or the lake water or the ocean water. Probably not going to taste very good, the ocean water. But if you definitely use those for sprinkling around your house, but if you're going to be drinking it, I would recommend that you use clean water to begin with. If you're using that clean water, you can drink it. You can use it in magic potions, such as teas. You can make a tea and add a little bit of your moon holy water to it to really amp up that potion. I've got an article, in fact, about making teas into potions. So if you go over to my blog, go to parlorofwonders.com, go to instruction and go to magic blog, scroll down and you'll find the article about making teas as potions. Add a little holy water, moon water into it. And now you really made a super magical potion. You can also add these holy waters to your bath for spiritual cleansing. Ah, amazing. You can add these along with your Epsom salt, your sea salt, or your prepared bath, your bath crystals that you purchase, and you have now amped up the power of that bath even more. It's just amazing. You can use that water, that holy water, to bless and consecrate your magical tools. How cool and magical is that? You can cleanse them, you can bless them, you can do everything you would consider doing with any kind of holy water you can do with this moon water. You can use it in a cup, put it in a cup, a goblet or a nice cup, and put it on your altar for your ancestors or for your deities. Make a beautiful offering of this holy water to them. What a gift that is. That would be amazing. You can pour this water on yourself or apply it to yourself for a self-love ritual or to bring in prosperity. Just like you would apply an oil, you can apply this holy moon water to yourself. Hey, what about this idea? Plant a magical plant and water it with full moon water. That would be very cool. Get a little plant in a pot, basil plant, anybody? Grow that plant and pour that water on it to water it, to nurture it, and to feed it with that magical holy water. Super, super cool idea. So there you go. Lots of ways that you can, first of all, make that holy water, that full moon water, and lots of ways that you can use it to make your life super magical. Well, that about does it for this episode of Magic and the Law of Attraction. If you would like to get even more info about magical moon water and working with the full moon, then check out my magic blog over at parlorofwonders.com. Go to Parlor of Wonders, go to instruction, and go to magic blog, where you can read more about the 11 ways you can make some serious magic with the full moon. And you can find all kinds of other articles teaching you about magic, tarot, witchcraft, law of attraction, spiritualism, all the magical, mystical goodies. And don't forget, if you have questions about all that good magical and mystical stuff, then you'll want to join me at the live magic Q&A tea party. It's every Sunday at 5 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Mountain, 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern. Go to spellsquad.com to get your secret code to come in. And here's a secret. If you do that, you will also get a free copy of my gorgeously illustrated ebook, 7 Secrets to Supercharge Your Spell Work. Just go to spellsquad.com and get your free copy. It will be instant. It will come in your email, and you'll have that to look over and to amplify all your magic with all those good things. A huge thank you goes out to all the Law of Attractioneers out there who have subscribed to, I should say Spell Squad members out there who have subscribed to and shared this podcast with your friends. And big, big love to the fabulous folks who have left reviews on iTunes. Those reviews are amazing. They super help. They help people see. They make the podcast go up in the charts. And when it goes up in the charts, it can be seen by other people can find it, and we get this message out to the wider world. So I super appreciate you taking the time, taking that minute to just type with your thumbs something that shows that you appreciate this podcast. I read them all, and I'm thrilled with them all. And every week I pick my favorite written review, and I give a shout out to that person. So this episode, my favorite review was from Spice Royalty. I like that name, Spice Royalty. Is that the 6th Spice Girl, Spice Royalty? Spice Royalty says, Madam Pamita, thank you. I was blessed to find Madam Pamita on YouTube during a difficult time in my life. I was stuck, stagnant, and spiritually disconnected. Through her teachings, the discovery of my personal power has changed my relationship with the world around me. A faithful baby step of faith that there is goodness and abundance waiting for us can lead to real change in our lives. So I love that. Thank you, Spice Royalty. That was awesome. And if you want to get a shout out, put a review up on iTunes and subscribe to the podcast and leave that written review, and let me know also what you like about this podcast and what you want more of. I read all of those reviews. So that's a great place to reach out and give me that message. So I want to say a big thank you to Gilles Navarre for production and engineering, and thank you to Manfred Hofer, my amazing boyfriend, for announcing, and thank you to you for joining me. I'm looking forward to our next episode when we'll be answering the question, what is essential oils witchcraft? what is essential oils witchcraft? Well, you'll have to tune into the next episode to find out. Until next time, this is Madame Pamita saying, keep making your life the most magical adventure ever.